In this video tutorial, I'm going to show you how to model the arm, or arms, of this Goku Cubeecraft character. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to come down here into my bottom left-hand window, which is a front orthogonal view, and I'm going to press N on the keyboard, and I'm going to come down here to where it says Background Images, and if you look, the arm is at a rotated angle here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate the image. So I'm going to come down here at the bottom and I'm just going to go ahead and rotate it until it looks like it's a good, just kind of eyeball it. There we go, something like that. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hide. Go ahead and actually I'll just move it off to the side here. Okay, so the arm looks pretty good. Looks pretty straight. You can see we've got the front of his arm, the inside of his arm here, the outside of his arm. His hand is the bottom, and I'm not quite sure if this is the top, or maybe that's the back side. Yeah, we'll have to figure that out. Over here in my UV window, here's the preview of what the finished character should look like, so I'm using that as my source of reference. Okay, I'm going to press N to make the toolbar go away. Okay, so I'm adding in a new object, a new body part, so I want to make sure that I'm in object mode. I'm going to left click to place my 3D cursor there, and I'm going to go ahead and create a new cube. I'll tab into edit mode, S to scale, and there we go. So I'm going to go ahead and put it up here at the top. Go ahead and do a little box selecting, resizing, and there we go. Okay, so here's what's a little misleading. So that's the entire arm right there, and you can see his arm is a perfect rectangular cube, and the bottom of his arm, that little flap there, is actually his hand. So you don't need to model his hand out like this. So that's a common mistake. Okay, so here's the arm here. You can see it looks pretty good. This shape up here in the top left corner looks reasonably like that. So I think we're pretty good to go. Okay, so now that I've got the modeling done, I'm going to come over here to the right hand side, and I'm going to start off by giving it the object a name. So I'm going to come up here to the object panel, and instead of cube, this is going to be Goku, and this is actually his right arm, so I'll just call it right arm. There we go. I'll now give it a material. Now, you don't need to hit new material. You can do that, but that's certainly more work, and you have to manage more materials. Instead, you're going to come here to this button here on the left, and you'll see that I have my one material that I can use on all the body parts, so that it's a shared material. Okay, once I have chosen that material, I'm then going to come here to the texture panel, and this is the texture that all of the body parts are sharing. If this wasn't automatically set up for you, again, you could come here to the texture browser and you could go ahead and choose that one right there. Okay, so now that I've set that up, now I'm ready to unwrap. So I'm going to come up to my 3D window. I'll make sure I have all selected. U to unwrap, and I'll choose unwrap. Okay, so there we are there, and you can see that it is showing up in the 3D window, so that's good. Make that a little bigger. Okay, so now I'm ready. I'm going to go ahead and save just in case, and I'm going to scale down, grab it, move it over, zoom in so you can see better. Okay, scale down a little bit. Okay, so I need to figure out which face is the front face. So I'm going to go ahead and in my front ortho view, I'm going to right click and I'm going to select the face. So for me, it's on the negative Y axis side, so that's it right there. Okay, so that's pretty good. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to, in the UV window, I'm going to select all, I'm going to rotate, and you can see that I know it's a little tough to see, but you can see that my UVs are rotated 180 degrees. They're upside down. You can see because the hand is showing up here at the top of the cube, and I don't want that. So I'm just going to come over here to my UV window, press A a couple times to make sure that I have all selected, and I'm going to press R, and I'm going to type in 180, so 180 degrees. That way all of the UVs are rotated and they're all facing upside down. Oops. And I realize I just made a mistake on that. Okay. So to do that, oops, I'm going to have to go back. Okay. So my undos aren't really working it, so I'm going to have to do it one at a time. That's fine. Okay, so I'm going to scale it down. And you can see the hand is still at the top of the face there. So I'm going to need to rotate that. So I'm going to press R, 180. There we go. I can now scale it down. I can now grab it. And this is the front of the arm. So I'm just going to select each UV and just slide it into place. So right click to select it, G to grab, and there we go. So that's the front there. I'm now going to select this side, scale it, grab it, rotate it 180 degrees, rotate it a little bit more. You want to make sure the armband, in this case on this character, I know your character might be different, but you want to make sure that the features of the character are all lining up properly. So the process is very, very repetitive, which should make life a little bit easier. And you can see that it's wrapping around, so that's checking out and looking good. Okay, I'll take this one, rotate it 180 degrees, again, scale it, grab it. So I just use rotate and grab and scale to get the UV island where I think it should go, and then I'll go ahead and place it, and then I'll manually tweak the UVs. When I'm done, I look at it and see if it looks good. Okay, so this I think looks pretty good. Let's take care of this. This is the back. And I think the back is going to be the exact same as the front. So could have done those two together, but there we go. Okay, so again, scale down until I get reasonably close. And you can spend more time with scaling and rotating. I just find it a little easier, more straightforward to select those 4 UVs and just get in there and set them up. Okay, so as I wrap around, you can see that the arm is going around, the band is lining up, and that looks pretty good. Okay, so now I'm going to select the bottom face, which is the hand. Again, I'll rotate it, scale it down, grab it. Okay, so now I need to figure out which side is the inside and outside. So I'm going to quickly just tab out of edit mode, bring his arm over closer to him, so that way I can kind of get an idea of it. So this is his right arm. Okay, so there we go, like that. And his arm should be brought in something that. Okay, so now you can take a look at his hand. His hand is backwards, so I need to fix that. So I'll just go ahead and rotate it. So his arm is doing something like that. So his fingers are on the inside of his body, as they typically go. Okay, so now I'm just grabbing the individual UVs and just moving them over. Okay, so it's basically rinse and repeat. I don't want to bore you here. The only thing I haven't done yet is the top of the arm. And the top of the arm, this is it right here, this blue flap. So again, I don't have to be as precise with this one. As a matter of fact, I can just rotate it like this, and I don't even need it to fit, because as long as it's over the blue, I'm okay. And you can see that the blue continues on. So that one I can afford to be okay with. So now that the arm is fixed and it looks good on all sides, I can just do Shift D, drag it over to the other side, and I don't need to unwrap it or model it. I need to change the name. So I'll come over here and I'll go to the name and I'll change it. Now Blender's calling it right arm 01, so I'll just call it left arm. The UV mapping is all done. The only thing I really need to change, if I tab back into edit mode on this guy, is his hand needs to go in the opposite direction. So I'll select it all, rotate it. Okay, so that looks good. Let's see, now being technical, I will tell you that this island here should go actually over here. So that way you can see the little bit of his bicep. You can see it there on the outside there. And the one on the inside, right here, I would probably just grab this and whoa, select all, grab it and slide it over here. It's a small detail, but if you're spending all this time doing this, I would say take the time to actually have it look good. Okay, so that is it for the arm tutorial. You can see his hands are looking pretty good. Move this up a little bit. Okay, so that's the check, and I'm going to go ahead and save, and a nice easy way. Quick advice for the legs. Again, for this project, you can go ahead and model the legs together as one group, and then on Wednesday of this week, we'll go ahead and I'll show you one way that you can separate them, so that way when we animate this little guy, we can go ahead and have two independent legs. Okay? Alright, I will see you in the next video. Thank you very much.